So we'll see what's next with that. Bring in today's headliner. Larry Kudlow is here, director of the National Economic Council. Larry, good morning. Always appreciate having you on. So thanks for being here.
Thanks, Sandra. Appreciate it.
You said, yeah, great of you to be here. It's Ed as well. So Friday morning, you said on Fox News Channel, and I remember it so clearly, you said no second wave, and you said it again. This is not a second wave. That obviously was important for markets and for our expectations for recovery. Since then, we have received new data points. Throw it up on the screen. These are the COVID spikes that we're seeing across the country now. In Florida specifically, 2,500 new cases reported on Saturday alone. That is a new single-day high. In Texas, 2,500 cases in a single day. That was a high. Texas saw its third straight day of record hospitalizations, and there was an uptick in California. Based on that new information, what can you tell us about growing concerns over a second wave, Larry?
Well, look, I understand the growing concerns, and we're going to have these concerns for a while, but I've been in touch with our health experts, actually each of the last 4 or 5 days, including this morning. These are relatively small bumps. They're there. I'm not denying it. You've got places like South Carolina, North Carolina, I believe Florida and Texas, some in California. Please don't forget, though, we are testing at 100 times the rate we were a couple of months back in March. So you're bound to uncover a lot more cases. I think it's very important to note, however, with respect to the positivity and the new cases, the fatality rates remain very low. And in fact, nationwide, if you take a look at the case rates and you take a look at the fatality rates, they're still running basically around 0 to 1%, maybe slightly higher than 1% on a 1-day or a 7-day average. I do not want to downplay or argue against the fact that it's happening, but I think it's something we have to get used to. I think it's controllable. I think we have better equipment. We have much more experience in handling these hot spots, small metropolitan areas. We are not intending to close down the economy. We do not believe this is a second wave. Having said all that, let me remind one of my favorite health experts said we've got to have best practices with hygiene. All right? In those localities where the guidelines are clearly wear masks, keep the social distancing and so forth, those things must be observed. So we must open the economy, but we must do it in a safe way.
But Larry, all the facts you lay on the table are important, but the facts that Sandra put on there about some spikes in some states are important as well. How can you say again, as you did a moment ago, we're not shutting the economy down again? Nobody's wishing for this, but God forbid the health experts go to the president and say, look, we're fearful this is going the wrong way and there could be tens of thousands of more people dying. You're saying the president still will not shut down the economy?
The president is absolutely disinclined to shut down the economy, as is the vice president. You know, I think shutting down the economy could be worse for our health than not shutting it down. Look, I will just tell you what the health experts are saying, Ed, and they do not see the degree of alarm. Now, look, there is hardship. Every human being's value is terribly important. But when you look at the overall numbers, and including these specific areas, this is not necessarily a nationwide event. As I said, case rates and fatality rates nationwide are still rock bottom and have flattened. We're on it. We're watching it very carefully. But that does not mean, because a few places have had flare-ups for one reason or another, that we need to shut down the economy.
What is your biggest concern, Larry? I mean, look at the stock market. It ran back up to recent highs. You know, it seems you've talked it off the lows of the session today, so I'm sure investors will be thankful for that. It's down 438 points. You saw a wild ride on Wall Street last week, Larry. So what does keep you up at night when it comes to the economy and remaining open?
You know, well, America's health and safety keep me up at night, as always. It's an honor for me to be in this job, and it's been hard going, but it's hard going for everybody. Look, at this economy is really coming back strong. We are going through the transition phase in May and June. We are reopening. 80% of the small business have reopened, according to the Chamber of Commerce. We set fabulous jobs numbers a couple of Fridays ago, plus 3 million. And by the by, the PPP program, the Payroll Protection Program, is directly responsible for that. People who were temporarily laid off or furloughs are going back to work. There's a great story in the Wall Street Journal this morning by my pal Greg Ip, who notes how strong retail sales are looking. We checked out the numbers. General merchandise sales, department store sales, grocery sales, they're all spiking up on a year-over-year basis. They're actually going to be higher right now. We get this from the credit card data, both credit and debit cards. I think the economy is coming back very strong. I think we're going to get 20% plus rates in the second half of the year. I referenced the Congressional Budget Office on this, but other private forecasters are saying the same thing. I see no reason with good policies we can't have a big bang increase in 2021. I mean, I saw today some people, you know, I'm describing a V-shaped rebound. Some people are calling it I-shaped rebound, where the thing's just going straight up. Now, look, I don't want to get cute here. I'm just saying, as the reopening is occurring, this is like the passing of a very bad hurricane or a very bad snowstorm. Hardship, heartbreak, yes. But when it passes, people return back to their work. And that is exactly what's happening now. And we observe in private industry, which is so important, they're going to be the ultimate leaders. They are testing. They are doing the temperature thing. We do have the equipment we didn't have. We do have the experience we didn't have. And I think the economy is going to rocket higher and higher in the summer months. The sales numbers are one thing. We're going to have more better jobs. Don't forget unemployment, weekly unemployment claims, a crucial leading indicator, have fallen 10 consecutive weeks. So I think we're moving forward nicely.
Larry, though, if you believe the economy is going to rocket, as you say, in the summer months, why is the president talking about maybe a $2 trillion stimulus on top of all the other money we've spent? And can you break down for us, there's some talk that infrastructure spending could be part of that. You're still pushing the payroll tax cut. What can the American people expect, sir?
Well, look, we are still assessing the whole situation. Everything is pre-decisional right now. We've had a lot of discussions on our economics team. We've had a lot of discussions with the president just in recent weeks about all this. And I'm not going to reveal everything. Now, he has said, the president has said, that he wants the payroll tax cut. That will go very nicely with people returning to work. It provides an incentive, about 6.5% higher after-tax wage increase. We will have a return to employment bonus. He very much is talking about investments, capital gains. Suppose, for example, you buy a business or an asset between now and the end of the year. Why not exclude the capital gains? Put some torque into the economy, animal spirits. We're talking about expensing for new equipment. We're talking about tax deductions for restaurants, for entertainment spots, for sports teams. I think we all loved watching the golf tournament over the past few days. That's a great sign of hope. So we would like to see some liability restrictions regarding COVID-19 issues, so if people are not afraid to reopen. These are all part of the pot that he is looking at.
All right, Larry Kudlow live at the White House for us this morning, the president's economic advisor. Larry, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. Meantime, this is